Over the last several years, the museum's acquired a substantial collection of artworks made by artists from the Yoruba ethnic group in Nigeria. And when Anne Heath mentioned to me that she was thinking about teaching a seminar on African art, I thought it would be a great opportunity to get her and her students involved in researching our collection and figuring out a way to exhibit it.
We work with the Kruizenga Art Museum to help the director curate shows, exhibitions that he has on his schedule, and do the primary source research for him. And that will then turn out to be the labels, the wall texts, the catalogs for the works in the show.
This class offers an opportunity for experiential learning at the highest level. The discipline of art history is basically the study of artworks that allows us to build up an understanding of individual artists. Then from the understanding of individual artists, we build up an understanding of different schools and movements, and then from the understanding of those different schools and movements, we build up an understanding of entire historical periods.
I don't think I've ever done anything like this before. It was definitely eye-opening and super challenging. It's a lot harder because we're not finding books that give us the answers to our questions. We're not looking at people who have already analyzed the work. It's kind of like we're analyzing it ourselves, but also through the lens and perspective of the artists themselves and other artists at that time.
It's been difficult, but it's also been really rewarding. So like when you do find something, it's like finding finding the real gold amongst the fool's gold, and like actually like getting the thing you need. And it's so much more rewarding than being like, well, of course, like I have this book. But yeah, I've had to like take like some like different approaches, like definitely like researching deeper and like learning like don't give up, like you're gonna have to like try a lot harder.
They're an opportunity for students to really put their skills into action by doing research that's often primary source research. That means nobody has done it before. And so they have to learn that kind of detective skills on how do you go out and find information that isn't readily available. So they have to be creative in their thinking. They have to have a lot of initiative. They have to be nimble. And they certainly have to work together.
This is interesting because it's like working as a team. So even though I'm writing my own paper on like Duli Ladipo and like Nigerian contemporary theater, I'm still like checking in with my classmates, and sometimes like we find stuff like, oh, like I found this JSTOR article, or I found this on ArtNet, like swapping. So it's interesting being part of like a research community.
Even if they don't go into the arts as a career, these kinds of experiences, project management, follow-through, collaboration, initiative, self-teaching, these are all the kinds of experiences that are going to hold them in good stead, whether they pursue a career in the arts or if they take opportunities outside of the arts. These kinds of, the kind of work they do in our department is completely relevant and helpful in lots of different career paths and vocations.
This is definitely not a typical undergrad art history course. This is much closer to graduate school work, or even to the kind of professional work that's done in museums and commercial art galleries. I've been a museum curator and director for more than 25 years now, and I've been involved over the course of my career in hiring dozens of people for jobs in museums, and the number one criteria is always whether they've done museum work before. And this course has given students that kind of background.